Kitu members from where you are, I welcome you again. This is Literacy 1, Week 6, Lesson 9. Before we start this, let us review what we talked about last week. Last week, we talked about malnutrition, and we defined it as malnutrition is the condition when a person is weak, generally weak, and is suffering or is sick because of poor feeding. Okay? Malnutrition is the condition when the body is weak and somebody is sick or ill because of poor feeding. And even we looked at the meaning of malnutrition. Malnutrition is the same as poor feeding or eating one type of food and eating much food. We went ahead and we looked at signs of poor feeding, signs that one can portray, that one can show because of poor feeding. We mentioned loss of body weight or emaciation. Somebody grows thin, loses the weight of the body within a shortest period of time. We also mentioned poor formation of the body, poor body growth, and also we mentioned that dullness. We also mentioned signs like dullness. I understand you remember that. And even poor hair growth. You look at the person's hair, you find that the hair is not black or dark, but it is yellowish. Okay? It is brownish. The best way, it's brownish. So, change of hair color and also poor growth of the hair. Now, without wasting time, let us now drive our mindset. Let us now focus on diseases caused by malnutrition. And remember, I said malnutrition is the condition of the body when one is weak and is ill of diseases and is sick of diseases. And these are some of the diseases that one can suffer from due to poor feeding or due to malnutrition. And sometimes we can call them deficiency diseases. We can call them deficiency diseases. Be attentive, please. So we have disease number 1, kwashiorkor. You'll be repeating after me, kwashiorkor. Then we have marasmus. Repeat after me, marasmus. Very good. Then we have beriberi. Okay? We have beriberi. And then we also have night blindness. We have night blindness. Then we have also scurvy. All of you, scurvy. Then we have rickets. All of you, rickets. And you can learn how to spell these words here, these diseases. They are going to ask you to write the disease one suffers when he lacks proteins. The disease one suffers when he lacks proteins in his body or in his diet. Then you will have to write the word, the disease called kwashiorkor. How will you write it when you don't know the spelling? So you have to learn these words in 2 details, practice them such that you can be able to answer questions because they come and you are going to answer even in my activity. We are moving to control and prevention. Control and prevention of the deficiency diseases we have mentioned. 1, we are starting by kwashiorkor. How can one control this? Eat food rich in proteins. By eating food rich in proteins, then we shall get rid of kwashiorkor. Now, examples of food that we're supposed to eat, and they are rich in proteins, or they provide the body with proteins. We have fish, okay? We have meat. When you eat meat and fish, you get proteins. Even we have milk. Not only these 3, but there are very many. Just mention but a few. Fish, meat, milk. Once you eat this, even beans, and they are commonest one. They are the commonest one. This is the commonest meal in every home. At least in a week, they eat beans. People eat beans twice in a week. So all these are rich in proteins and they control kwashiorkor, they prevent, okay, one from getting kwashiorkor. Then we have marasmus. For us in P3, there are some deficiencies that we give which are not complicated. But as time goes by, as we upgrade the level of education, then we are going to have very many as we can. But today, or in our level, we just give specific diseases. Then we have marasmus. How can one control and prevent this? By feeding or eating on food rich in carbohydrates. By feeding or eating food rich in carbohydrates. Examples of the meals you can eat, we have posho. When you eat posho is rich with carbohydrates. Then we have rice, okay, we have rice, and even we have honey. We have even matoke, not only these three. We have matoke, we have posho, we have sweet potatoes, we have Irish potatoes, we have cassava, we have rice. There is also honey. This one, it's rich in carbohydrates. It's a carbohydrate meal of food when you eat it or when you lick it. So these are the examples of meals that can provide the body with carbohydrates to fight against marasmus. Then we have rickets. We can prevent this by eating food rich in vitamin D. Okay? By eating food rich in vitamin D. And examples we have, you eat liver, you eat the kidney, and then what is the most important and very cheap? You sunbathe. We don't eat it. Morning sunshine. We just sunbathe it. You sit under sunshine, more so in the morning, and even late evening hours. You sunbathe, especially in the morning and evening hours. The skin has got a pigment. We can call it a pigment which we call melanin. The melanin will now be able to manufacture vitamin D in our body. The skin traps that morning sunlight or evening sunlight, and then the skin again manufactures vitamin D. And then we get rid of rickets. Somebody will say, how can you know when one is suffering from rickets? You can know by observing the structure of the limbs, or we can say the legs. Okay, children? So we have this sign number 1. You will find children of this category. This one we call it Nikino legs. We call it this to be Nikino legs. A person will be moving like this. It is caused due to lack of vitamin D in the body, and the disease we call it rickets. And we are going to come across these people having oxbow legs. We call that sign to be oxbow, people moving like this. Okay? This is also a sign of rickets. This one is oxbow legs, and when you come to this, it is knock-knee legs. This means they come into contact. So there are 2 signs that you can observe, or that they can make you know that one is suffering from rickets. These others we covered in P2, but still I'm going to detail them when it comes to our next lesson. Then we have night blindness. It's just the fact that when we are suffering from night blindness, you don't just see only at night, but even during daytime. This is what we call poor vision. And you can make those ones for bracket it here. Poor vision. Poor vision. Poor vision. You don't see well. You don't see well, not all at night, but even during daytime. Night blindness. How can one control this? By eating food rich in vitamin A. By eating food rich in vitamin A. Which food? We will eat all green vegetables. All green vegetables. What you have ever heard about? Carrots. We have dodo. We have cabbage. We have skuma wiki. We have very many nakati. So when you eat that, you will be controlling or preventing, or you don't want now to get night blindness. You will be having now a rightful eyesight. You see properly during daytime and even at night. Once you include all this in your diet. Then we have scurvy. Scurvy is the commonest disease. And we are saying one can prevent or control it by eating food rich in vitamin C. Okay? And this involves all fruits that you have ever heard about. You have ever eaten watermelon, you have ever eaten guavas, you have ever eaten mangoes, you have ever eaten lemon, you have ever eaten oranges, all that, pineapples, passion fruits, they are rich in vitamin C. And this one here, how can you tell that one is suffering from scurvy? This one here comes when you see blood oozing from the mouth, blood coming out, flowing, okay, most in the evening, another in the morning, sometimes at any time, you find that blood is coming out. This is what you call poor gum formation. Poor gum formation. And that's what we are going to find it in the P4. When the gum is bleeding, the gum, the part where the teeth are attached or fixed, that part, the gum, when the gum is bleeding, it means that you are suffering from scurvy. Sometimes the gum can bleed when you have been given a huge blow. However, here, you just find it all of a sudden, blood oozing. And that's why now we say one is suffering from scurvy due to failure to include vitamin C in his or her diet. So always eat fruits. Always eat fruits such that you can curb the problem that can come because of failure to include fruits or vitamin C activity. And I'm going to give you questions. You'll find in the hard copy that you are going to get OP at school. And remember to answer all questions right away. Thank you.